guys, so this first strategy, I call it the DMS mental math. DMS stands for divide, multiply, subtract. It omits a lot of the steps that students typically use in the standard way. So whenever I use this strategy, the first thing that I do is I rewrite the problem. So I'm going to start by rewriting it. So we have 9. And I like to space all my digits out. And you'll see why in a second. Okay, so first you try to see how many times can 9 go into 25. Remember, you can't go over. So 9 can go into 25 2 times. So then we multiply in our head. 18, subtract gives us 7. And then divide. 9 can go into 77 times without going over. Then we multiply. 63, subtract gives us 7. So every time you subtract, you write that number next to the next digit. Then we try to see how many times can 9 go into 79. It can go into 79 8 times without going over. Multiply gives us 72. Subtract gives us 7. How many times can 9 go into 74 without going over? So that's the divide step. Divide gives us 8. Multiply 72. Subtract 2. Now, how many times can 9 go into 27 without going over? 9 can go into 27 3 times. Multiply 27, subtract 0. Now you are done. Okay, so our quotient, which is the answer to a division problem, is 27,883. So our next strategy is called the 7 strategy. The reason why it's called the 7 strategy is because now you're going to turn this problem into a big 7. Okay, so first you try to see how many times can 9 go into 25 without going over. All right, I know it can go into 25 2 times without going over. And then you look how many digits you have left over to determine how many zeros you're going to have. 1, 2, 3, 4 digits left over. So I know we're going to have 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to leave us with 20,000. So now, so you did the first step, which is divide. Now we're going to multiply. 9 times 20,000. I know 9 times 2 gives me 18. So I know 9 times 20,000 is going to give me 180,000. Now I'm going to subtract. 7 minus 0 gives us 7. 4 tens. 9 hundreds, 0 thousands, and then 25 minus 18 gives us 7. So now we're left with 70,947. So now we're going to see how many times can 9 go into 70 without going over. So I know 9 can go into 77 times without going over. And then look how many zeros we're going to have left, how many digits. We have the 900s, 4, 10, 7, 1, so that's going to be 3 digits. 1, 2, 3, so I'm going to put 3 zeros. So now when I multiply, I'm going to get 63,000. And when I subtract, 7, 4 tens, 9 hundreds, and then I know 70 minus 63 is going to be 7. So now I'm going to see how many times can 9 go into 79 without going over. I know 9 can go into 79 8 times without going over. Then I'm going to have 2 zeros left over. So that's going to be 800. Now I'm going to multiply, which is going to give me 7,200. Subtract, give us 7, 4 tens, 7 hundreds. So now I see how many times can 9 go into 74 without going over. I know 9 can go into 74 8 times. And I'm going to have 1 zero left over. So now when I multiply, that's going to give me 720. And when I subtract, I'm going to get 7, 2 tens. So now I get 27. So last step, and I'm going to continue it right here because we're running out of space. So I know 9 can go into 27 3 times. So I'm going to put 3 right here. Multiply is going to give us 27. Subtract, that gives us 0. So now we know we're done with that part. However, we add all of these together. So I get 3 when I have my ones placed, 8 when I have my tens placed, 8 in my hundreds, 7 in my thousands, and then 2 20,000s, which 2 10,000, sorry, which is going to give us our quotient, which is going to be 27,883. So this last strategy is the standard strategy. This is probably the way that you were taught when you were in elementary. This is the most standard way of doing it. So you have divide, multiply, and subtract, bring it on down, bring it on back. So the first step is divide. I know 9 can go to 25 2 times without going over. Multiply 18, subtract 7, bring it on down, bring it on back. Divide, 9 can go into 77 times. Multiply gives us 63. Subtract gives us 7. Bring it on down, bring it on back. Divide, 9 can go into 79 8 times without going over. Multiply, 72. Subtract 7. Bring it on down, bring it on back. Divide, 9 can go into 74 8 times. Multiply gives us 72. Subtract gives us 2. Bring it on down, bring it on back. Divide, 9 can go into 27 3 times. Multiply gives us 27. When we subtract, we get 0. And then when there's nothing else to bring down, then you know you're done. So our quotient, which is the answer to a division problem, is 27,883.